Just moments ago, the Swiss guard broke all protocol at the Pope's funeral, and Clint Eastwood stepped in to do the impossible. What happened next will leave you speechless. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe and share this unbelievable story because, trust me, you don't want to miss a second. The somber atmosphere at the Vatican was shattered when the Swiss guard suddenly refused to follow orders, creating chaos during the Pope's final ceremony. Everyone was stunned. This had never happened before, and the world was watching. Clint Eastwood, attending quietly as a private guest, didn't hesitate. Without a word, he moved through the crowd with calm authority, confronting the head of the Swiss guard in a tense standoff that nobody expected. What do you think Clint said to stop the chaos? Would you believe a Hollywood legend could calm one of the world's most disciplined forces? The tension was so thick, you could cut it with a knife. The Swiss guard stood firm, their faces rigid, refusing to budge despite the furious whispers of Vatican officials trying to regain control. Clint's presence was unexpected, and many wondered why he was even there. But as the crowd held its breath, Clint stepped forward, his voice steady but powerful. He didn't yell or demand. He reminded them of something far bigger than rules or protocol. He spoke of honor, tradition, and the sacred duty they carried. Not just to the Pope, but to the world watching in silence. His words struck a chord. Suddenly the rigid lines of the Swiss guard softened. Clint's calm defiance was more commanding than any official order. But just when it seemed peace would return, a shocking revelation surfaced. The disruption was no accident. A secret faction inside the Vatican was trying to derail the funeral for their own gain. Clint realized this was bigger than a simple protocol breach. It was a battle for the soul of the church itself. Would you stand up when everything you believe in is at stake? The revelation hit like thunder. Clint, once thought to be just an honored guest, suddenly found himself in the eye of a storm much darker than anyone had imagined. The secret faction within the Vatican wasn't just causing chaos. They were plotting to seize control during a moment of global mourning. Whispers of corruption, betrayal, and power plays echoed through the ancient halls, and Clint realized that his usual roles in Hollywood were no preparation for this real-life battle. But he wasn't about to back down. Quietly, Clint reached out to a few trusted Vatican insiders, people who had kept their loyalty to the true spirit of the church. Together, they began to unravel the web of deceit, racing against time before the faction could make their final move. Meanwhile, the world outside was oblivious to the silent war unfolding inside the sacred walls. Clint's presence, once a curiosity, became a beacon of hope and resistance. But as he dug deeper, Clint discovered a betrayal closer than he imagined. Someone he trusted was working for the faction. The weight of this truth threatened to break him. Could Clint overcome the ultimate betrayal and restore order before everything fell apart? What would you do if those closest to you turned out to be your greatest enemy? Clint's world turned upside down as the betrayal hit hard. The trusted insider revealed themselves in a shocking confrontation, their motives tangled in greed and ambition. But Clint stayed calm, using every ounce of his decades-long experience facing tough opponents, not with guns, but with strategy and heart. He exposed the traitor quietly to the loyal Vatican allies, cutting off the faction's access to crucial plans. Then came the moment that stunned everyone. During the Pope's funeral, with millions watching worldwide, Clint stepped forward once again, not as an actor, but as a mediator. His words, simple yet powerful, called for unity, truth, and respect for the sacred traditions. The Swiss guard, moved by Clint's courage and sincerity, broke their silence and realigned themselves, restoring order with solemn precision. The secret faction was forced to retreat, their plot unraveled by one man's quiet strength. Clint had done the impossible. What do you think was the most powerful moment in Clint's stand? As the final moments of the Pope's funeral unfolded, a heavy silence filled the air, one charged with both grief and newfound hope. Clint Eastwood stood tall, his presence a silent reminder that sometimes courage comes from the most unexpected places. The Swiss guard, now fully united and disciplined, once again marched with solemn grace honoring their sacred duty. News of Clint's role spread quickly, sparking debates worldwide about the power of quiet leadership and the strength found in standing up for what is right, even when the odds seem impossible. But behind the scenes, Clint knew this victory was just the beginning. The secret faction had been weakened, not destroyed, and the fight for the church's soul was far from over. Yet in this moment, Clint's actions proved that one person's bravery could inspire a world. What would you have done in Clint's place? Would you stand alone for what you believe in? Share your thoughts below. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that challenge everything you thought you knew.